Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive? Today we're heading east, way back in time, to explore a truly fascinating creature from Chinese mythology.
A creature of immense size and even greater symbolic meaning.
The Kun Peng. It's a shapeshifter, a creature of duality, and a really powerful image when you start digging into it.
Exactly. So we're talking ancient China, a time of myths and legends, and the Kun Peng really embodies this idea of possibility, of transformation.
The sheer scale of this thing, it's mind-blowing.
Thousands of miles long. Just imagine that for a second.
I mean, we're not just talking about a big fish here. We're talking about a fish so big its back could be mistaken for an island.
Right. The ancient texts describe the kun, this massive fish, dwelling in the depths of the northern sea. Almost unimaginable.
And then it transforms.
Into the peng.
A gigantic bird.
Yeah.
Capable of flying to incredible heights.
90,000 miles high, they say.
So let's try and break this down, right?
Yeah.
This creature, the Kun Peng, starts as the kun, this fish of almost unimaginable size. What does that represent?
Well, it's interesting. The kun, despite its size, it's not portrayed as a destructive force, right?
Yeah, it's not some kind of sea monster wreaking havoc.
Exactly. The texts actually emphasize the kun's peaceful nature. It exists in harmony with the ocean, almost like a representation of the ocean itself. This immense power, but also tranquility.
A balance. So if the kun represents this kind of potential, this power held in check, what happens when it transforms into the peng?
All right, we'll try to picture this. Okay. The kun rises from the depths of the northern sea.
A fish the size of an island breaching the surface.
Yeah. And it starts to change, driven by cosmic energy, by shifts in the weather. It becomes the peng, this colossal bird with wings that stretch across the sky.
Can you imagine seeing that? It would be terrifying, but also majestic.
Totally. And this peng, it soars to these incredible heights, 90,000 miles high. And from that vantage point, the sky itself changes. It's not blue anymore. It becomes black.
Wow. So we're talking about a shift in perspective, a completely different way of seeing the world.
Yeah, literally and figuratively. The peng embodies this ambition, this drive to reach beyond what we think is possible.
And that resonates with us even today, right? That desire to achieve something great, to push our own boundaries.
Exactly. And it's interesting because the texts actually suggest that each transformation of the kun peng, it's not just a random event. It heralds change in the world, almost like it acts as a bridge between heaven and earth.
Like it's a sign, an omen.
Yeah, and it witnesses the cycles of time, the constant ebb and flow of energy. It really speaks to the interconnectedness of everything.
It makes me think about that story of the quail, you know, the little bird that mocks the peng.
Oh, yeah, because the peng eventually has to land, right?
Right, but the peng, with its vast perspective, it understands something the quail doesn't.
That every creature has its own path, its own journey.
Right. And the quail, it's so focused on its own limited view, it can't comprehend the peng's experience. And I think that happens to us all the time, don't you think? We get stuck in our own ways of seeing things, and we limit ourselves.
Absolutely. We set our own ceilings without even realizing it.
So the Kun Peng, it's this incredible symbol. And it's fascinating that even today, thousands of years later, the phrase Kun Peng spreading its wings is still used.
It means achieving your ambitions, reaching for those impossible heights.
It's a powerful image. It makes me wonder, what could we achieve if we truly embraced that spirit, that willingness to transform, to see things from a different perspective?
It's something to think about, isn't it? What seemingly impossible heights are within our reach if we just let go of those self-imposed limitations.
And this is just one story from this rich tapestry of Chinese mythology. There are so many more out there, each one with its own lessons and insights. So keep exploring, keep diving deep, and see what other treasures you can uncover.
And who knows, maybe you'll even find your own inner kun peng waiting to take flight.
Thanks for joining us on this journey, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive.